Hey guys, welcome back to another Mythic Legions review. We have another Goblin up for review today, Gonxx. On the side of the package, we have a picture of Gonxx along with a short paragraph on his lore. The back of the package has new 2.0 artwork with some lore on the Mythic Legions. Let's get them out. Mythic Legions all come in collector-friendly packaging. We can easily take the figure out of the package without ripping anything apart. Gonxx is a commander in the Goblin army that serves the Legion of Arthir. Not only does he have the power and will to lead a seemingly number of infinite Goblin soldiers, he also possesses an incredible ability to strategically categorize and command his legions. Gonxx's hulking, brutal strength makes him a formidable opponent, and his army brings a horrific and indestructible force to the fight for Mythos. Let's check out some details. Gonxx's heavy armored helmet has large breathing holes dotted all over the sides. The armor is detailed with dents and scratches with a bit of rust applied all over. On the side we can see how the air holes are painted black, and we can see features like the ears poking out of the side of the helmet. The top of the helmet has a hole for a spike topper. And we can notice his unique neck adapter here too. More on this later. On his chest we have heavy armor colored brown. There are bits of deeper and lighter browns to give it a worn out look. On the back we can see more detail of the rusted out paint. Slightly lighter splotches of paint give a dirty look to it. The two large sockets on the shoulder will be used for armor later on. The shoulders have thick layers of heavy plate stacked over each other. We can notice some slight detail in the paint here. The hands have sharp edges and points all over. We have a bit more dark brown in this area with a few small highlights of that rust. On the front we have a hanging pelt of fur, decorated with black leather stripes and rings. The sculpting on the fur is really detailed, letting you see large strands of fur. On the side we have thick layers of heavy plates riveted together. The paint here is a bit worn out, and the seams in the armor are highlighted by a lighter rusted out color. The thighs have a rusty looking chainmail under the heavy armor. The plates of armor continue to have that worn out paint applied here too. The leg armor has large knee and leg guards. The effect of the rust is a bit better down here, but not applied so thickly. We finish up the figure with the spiked boots. It has layers of rusted out metal riveted together on the side. Let's check out the articulation. We get a ball jointed head, a neck adapter that rotates left and right, shoulders that open and rotate, an elbow that bends and rotates, a rotating forearm, and a wrist that bends up and down and rotates. A ball joint at the waist. We can notice that we don't have any of that new 2.0 chest articulation here. Legs that open and bend forward and back. Thighs that rotate. Knees that bend back and rotates, slightly blocked by the armor. And feet that bend up and down and rotate. Let's check out all the accessories we get. New to Mythic Legions, we get a neck adapter that connects 1.0 bodies to 2.0 heads. Normally 2.0 heads won't fit on a 1.0 neck, but this neck adapter makes it possible. We get a small spike to attach to the top of the head. The spike easily pegs into the socket on the top of the helmet. We get a pair of shoulders matching the rest of the figure's paint. To install, you just match the socket with the peg on the back. One thing to note is that the shoulders block movement on the large head. Gonxx comes with the two-handed hammer. It has a removable claw that you could replace with another hammer face if you had one. And we have a really nice flail. The chain is made of actual metal, while the handle and spiked ball are hard plastic. The quality on this weapon is very good. We get the standard longsword with a bit of rust painted on the blade. We get a pair of wing adapters for the figure. If you had wings, you would use these to attach them to the figure. And lastly, we have a belt that fits on 1.0 bodies. Gonxx is slightly taller than the other goblins, but nothing too noticeable or out of place. We can notice how his 1.0 dwarf body is much thicker than the 2.0 slim bodies. Gonxx is a clever reuse of the dwarf body and the new goblin head sculpts. The heavily armored figure gives a new look to the average small goblins we have been getting recently, and having a hulking brute for a goblin brings out more uniqueness in the army. As a heavy armored unit, Gonxx really fits the role of an enforcer. Seeing as Gonxx is using a 1.0 dwarf body and comes with large shoulder pads and an even larger head, the articulation is extremely restricted on this figure, especially when compared to the 2.0 slim body figures. The character itself is very unique for a goblin, but he's not going to be able to pull half of the range of articulation a regular goblin has. The accessories Gonxx came with fit him really well. We get a brand new flail. The metal chain really gives the accessory a high quality feel to it. The unique head adapter the figure comes with opens the floodgates to more unique creatures using this body type, like the bog goblin from 1.0. As for the paint on the figure, the pre-production shots we got showed a more rusted out armored paint job, and I didn't feel that they hit that effect with this figure. He comes off as more dirty than rusted out in my eyes. Overall, a great figure. My only gripes is the articulation on a dwarf body from having a stubby body, and the paint could have been more like the previews, but overall a very solid figure. If you're planning on collecting all the goblins, a big armored brute is a must-have in your collection. The flail is an amazing accessory for a goblin to use as a weapon. I'd recommend him to any goblin collector. Alright guys, that's it for this review. More reviews coming up soon.